How to think and speak. Alex often felt a heavy lump in his throat. He understood English perfectly, grasping every nuance of a conversation or a movie. Yet, when it was his turn to speak, words scattered like frightened birds. This was his daily day's struggle, a constant silent battle against his own tongue, a barrier preventing true connection and expression. He yearned for fluency, for the freedom to communicate effortlessly. He could follow complex discussions on global affairs, chuckle at intricate jokes, and even analyze intricate plot lines in English films. His comprehension was remarkable, a testament to years of diligent listening and reading. But the moment the spotlight shifted to him, his mind went blank. The fear of making mistakes, of sounding foolish, paralyzed him completely. Friends would often invite him to English-speaking meetups, promising a fun time. Alex would always decline, inventing flimsy excuses, though his heart ached to join. He knew he was missing out on valuable experiences, on forging deeper connections, all because of this pervasive, silent fear. It was more than just language, it was about self-expression. He scrolled through countless videos online, searching for how to think and speak effectively. Every guru offered seemingly magical solutions, yet none truly resonated with his deep-seated anxiety. He felt isolated in his struggle, believing he was the only one who understood English, but couldn't speak well despite his earnest efforts. One evening, while watching an inspirational speaker, a simple phrase struck him: "Why you must listen." It wasn't about just understanding, it was about internalizing patterns, rhythms, and common phrases. He realized his listening had been passive, not active. This subtle shift began to reframe his entire approach to learning English. He started listening with a purpose, focusing on how native speakers connected words, their intonation, and common expressions. He would replay short clips, trying to mimic the sounds mentally. This new approach made his comprehension even deeper, laying a solid foundation for what was to come next in his language journey. The speaker also emphasized how to practice English daily, even without a partner. This was a revelation. Alex had always thought practice required an audience, someone to correct him. Now he understood the power of solo, deliberate practice, a crucial step for building confidence from within his quiet space. He decided to start talking at home, even if it felt ridiculous initially. He began narrating his daily activities aloud, describing mundane tasks, or summarizing articles he read. "I am making coffee now. The water is boiling." Simple sentences, repeated often, helped warm up his tongue and brain connections. His apartment became his language laboratory. He spoke to his reflection in the mirror, enacting conversations he wished he could have. Sometimes he stumbled, sometimes he felt foolish, but he persisted. Each whispered word, each awkward phrase, was a small victory against his lifelong fear of speaking English openly and freely. Alex also discovered the importance of context. He realized that merely memorizing words was insufficient. Learning phrases and common idioms, understanding how they fit into a conversation, was paramount. This made his internal dialogues more natural, less about translating word for word and more about expressing ideas fluently. He started recording his voice on his phone, listening back to his pronunciation. It was cringeworthy at first, highlighting every hesitation and mispronounced syllable. But instead of discouraging him, it became a tool for improvement. He noted the areas needing work, correcting himself with each subsequent recording session. One day, he stumbled upon a video titled, "Let Me Tell You Talking Tips." The speaker shared practical advice. Focus on fluency over accuracy initially, don't fear mistakes, and use filler words to buy time. These tips felt like permission to be imperfect, a liberating concept for someone so afraid of error. He began incorporating these tips into his home practice. Instead of stopping mid-sentence when unsure, he would push through, using or like to keep the flow. This small change reduced his internal pressure significantly, allowing him to focus more on conveying meaning rather than achieving perfect grammar instantly. The journey was not linear. There were days of frustration, where old fears resurfaced. He would feel the familiar lump in his throat, questioning his progress. But he had learned the importance of perseverance, of treating setbacks as temporary hurdles, not permanent roadblocks. His motivation remained undeterred through it all. He recalled the advice, "How to improve your English is a marathon, not a sprint." Consistency, even for short periods daily, yielded far greater results than intense, sporadic bursts. So, he committed to at least 15 minutes of active speaking practice every single day, no matter how busy he felt. His confidence began to slowly blossom. He noticed a subtle shift in his internal monologue. Thoughts were forming directly in English, rather than being translated from his native tongue. This cognitive leap was a monumental step, a true sign that his brain was adapting and becoming more comfortable with the language. One afternoon, a delivery person struggled with directions outside his building. Without thinking, Alex stepped out and offered help in clear, concise English. The words flowed effortlessly, a small stream turning into a steady river. The delivery person thanked him profusely, and Alex felt a warmth spread through him. This small, unplanned interaction was a turning point. It wasn't a grand speech or a formal presentation, but a real-world application of his newfound abilities. The fear that had once paralyzed him had momentarily vanished, replaced by a surge of quiet confidence. He realized his practice was finally paying off. Emboldened, Alex decided to attend one of those English-speaking meetups he had always avoided. His heart pounded as he walked in, but he reminded himself of the "Let Me Tell You Talking Tips" about embracing imperfections. He resolved to simply participate, even if it meant stumbling occasionally. He started with simple greetings, then moved on to short responses. He actively listened to others, then formulated his thoughts. His sentences were not perfect, but they were comprehensible. And to his surprise, no one judged him. Instead, they were patient and encouraging, creating a supportive atmosphere for everyone. He discovered that how to talk to anyone in English wasn't about having perfect grammar or an extensive vocabulary. It was about connection, about daring to speak, and about conveying your message, however imperfectly. People appreciated the effort more than flawless delivery, which was a huge relief for him. The initial discomfort slowly faded, replaced by genuine enjoyment. He found himself engaging in conversations for longer periods, even contributing his opinions. The once dreaded silence was now filled with his own voice, sharing ideas, asking questions, and truly participating in the world around him. His journey from understanding English but not being able to speak well to becoming a confident communicator was a testament to his persistent effort. He had transformed his daily day's struggle into a daily opportunity for growth, embracing every chance to practice and improve his linguistic skills. Alex realized the key lay in consistent, deliberate practice, coupled with a shift in mindset. It wasn't about erasing mistakes, but about learning from them. He began to view errors not as failures, but as stepping stones on his path towards greater fluency and self-assurance in English communication. The phrase, "start talking at home," truly unlocked something within him. It provided a safe, judgment-free zone to experiment and build muscle memory for his vocal cords and brain. This foundational practice proved invaluable, allowing him to transfer his skills to real-world interactions more smoothly over time. He often reflected on why you must listen actively. This active listening deepened his understanding of conversational flow, idiomatic expressions, and natural pronunciation. It was like absorbing the essence of the language, making his own speech sound more authentic and less forced as he continued to speak. The talking tips he discovered, particularly those encouraging fluency over accuracy, became his guiding principles. They freed him from the crippling perfectionism that had once held him captive. This newfound freedom allowed him to express himself more naturally, focusing on communication rather than flawless grammar. His advice to others struggling was simple. How to improve your English starts with shedding the fear of making mistakes. Embrace the journey, not just the destination. Every word spoken, no matter how small or imperfect, builds towards greater confidence and ultimately genuine fluency in any situation. Alex now found joy in linguistic challenges. He actively sought out opportunities to speak English, whether ordering food, asking for directions, or participating in online discussions. Each interaction was a mini-adventure, a chance to apply everything he had learned and continue refining his abilities. He understood that true mastery was an ongoing process, not a final state. There would always be new vocabulary to learn, new accents to understand, and new ways to express himself. But the initial barrier, the paralyzing fear of speaking, had been definitively broken, paving the way forward. His friends noticed the change. They commented on his newfound confidence, his willingness to engage. Alex shared his story, emphasizing the power of start talking at home and the importance of consistent, low-pressure practice sessions to overcome the initial fear of speaking aloud in English. He told them about his daily struggle and how he systematically dismantled it piece by piece. The process was slow, sometimes frustrating, but ultimately rewarding. He stressed that anyone could overcome similar hurdles with the right mindset and dedicated effort, proving that it was possible for all. Alex had once believed his inability to speak was a personal failing. Now he viewed it as a challenge he successfully conquered, a testament to resilience. He understood that many people felt, "I understand English, but I can't speak well," and he hoped his journey could inspire others to take the first step too. The turning point was accepting that mistakes were part of learning. He stopped punishing himself for every grammatical error or mispronounced word. Instead, he treated them as data points, feedback for improvement, which significantly reduced his speaking anxiety during live conversations with others. He developed a personal mantra: progress, not perfection. This simple phrase alleviated immense pressure. It allowed him to celebrate small victories, like completing a full sentence without hesitation, rather than dwelling on moments of imperfection, which had previously held him back so much. Alex began recommending specific techniques, such as shadowing native speakers, repeating phrases immediately after hearing them. This practice improved his pronunciation and rhythm dramatically, making his spoken English sound more natural and fluent to both himself and to others listening carefully. He encouraged others to find their own how to practice English routines that fit their lifestyle. Whether it was talking to pets, narrating cooking, or describing photos, the key was consistent, low-stakes verbal output. Every small effort accumulated into significant progress over time. The concept of how to think and speak directly in English became less daunting. Through continuous exposure and practice, his brain gradually rewired itself. The need for translation diminished, replaced by an intuitive understanding and direct expression, a truly liberating feeling for him. His story became a living example of how to improve your English through perseverance and strategic effort. He showed that the journey from comprehension to confident communication was entirely achievable, provided one was willing to push past their comfort zone consistently and bravely. He found immense satisfaction in helping others navigate their own English-speaking anxieties. Sharing his personal talking tips and recounting his "my daily days" struggle resonated deeply with many, proving that their feelings of inadequacy were not unique, but a common hurdle to overcome. Alex understood that every person's journey was unique, but the underlying principles remained universal: active listening, consistent practice, and a positive mindset. These elements were the bedrock upon which genuine fluency and self-assurance in English could be built steadily and surely. He no longer feared conversations with strangers or participating in group discussions. The initial awkwardness had been replaced by a genuine curiosity and willingness to connect. He realized that how to talk to anyone in English was ultimately about building bridges, not just speaking words. His world expanded. New opportunities arose, both personal and professional, simply because he could now communicate effectively in English. The language, once a source of anxiety, had become a powerful tool, opening doors he never imagined possible before he started his dedicated journey. He became a vocal advocate for embracing imperfections. He often reminded people that even native speakers make mistakes, and that the beauty of language lies in its ability to connect, not in achieving flawless, robotic perfection. This perspective truly transformed his approach entirely. Why you must listen became more than just a tip, it was a philosophy. By truly listening, he not only understood the words, but also the speaker's intent, emotions, and cultural nuances, enriching his own communication style immensely and making him a more effective conversationalist. The transformation from "I understand English, but I can't speak well" to confidently expressing himself was a testament to his sheer determination. It proved that mental barriers were often more significant than actual linguistic challenges, and that overcoming them was truly achievable through effort. He encouraged starting small, focusing on simple daily interactions. asking a shopkeeper for directions, ordering at a cafe, or greeting a neighbor. These tiny wins built momentum and reduced the pressure of high-stakes conversations, paving the way for larger and more complex interactions. His story resonated because it was relatable. Many experience the internal conflict between comprehension and articulation. Alex's journey offered a beacon of hope, demonstrating that with persistence, strategic effort, and a willingness to step outside one's comfort zone, true progress was inevitable. He realized the power of self-compassion. Instead of criticizing himself for errors, he learned to be patient and kind, acknowledging the difficulty of learning a new language. This shift in internal dialogue significantly boosted his confidence and made the entire learning process much more enjoyable. Alex now regularly volunteered for English-speaking events, sharing his story and offering encouragement. He became a mentor, a living testament to the fact that speaking English was not an exclusive club, but an achievable skill for anyone willing to embark on the journey. His voice resonated clearly. The profound sense of accomplishment fueled his desire to continue learning and growing. His initial struggle had transformed into a passion for language. He understood that while his fear of speaking English had been daunting, conquering it led to unimaginable personal growth and open doors. He emphasized that how to think and speak was a gradual evolution. It started with conscious effort, then became semi-automatic, and eventually almost effortless. This progression was proof that persistent application of techniques could fundamentally alter one's cognitive processes for the better. Alex's journey was a powerful reminder. The biggest obstacle often lies within ourselves. Overcoming the fear of judgment and embracing imperfection were crucial steps. His transformation from silent observer to confident speaker was an inspiring narrative for anyone facing similar linguistic anxieties. He concluded his talks by reiterating the core message: start talking at home, listen actively, don't fear mistakes, and trust the process. These simple, actionable steps, when applied consistently, held the power to unlock anyone's English-speaking potential, just as they did for him. His life had truly changed. The world felt bigger, more accessible, more connected. The joy of expressing himself freely, of truly engaging with others in English, was a reward far greater than any initial struggle. Alex finally spoke, and his voice carried confidence and conviction clearly.